Hey! Oh, you're here. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Goya. I'm a filmmaker and motion graphics artist right here in Malawi. Pretty much this channel will have behind the scenes and a few thought processing behind the things that I make here, right? Or the things that we make at Studio Oxygen Africa. So pretty much filmmaking and motion graphics, right? I feel like there's a lot that I've learned from YouTube, so I wanted to sort of reteach or just to pretty much share my knowledge. That way, every single person is also like learning a few things. That way, I'm also learning the same. Pretty much the idea behind it is if you learn something and you try to teach it, you actually do it better. You actually learn it better yourself. I don't know if I'm making any sense, right? But you get the point. It's pretty much what I will be sharing on this channel, right? So why do I choose that lighting style? Why do I choose that audio, that song for this Mograph or that, and that? So pretty much the more I learn, the more I share. And I feel like the more I share, the more I learn too. So you win, I win, we lose, I lose, you lose. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, so if I'm going to share something, right? If I'm going to say, okay, what would be like the first thing like I would want to know, right? If I was going through YouTube and I'm like, okay, fine, this is quite fascinating, whatever. There are a lot of people making great content out there, honestly. So I asked myself, what would have been something I would have so wanted to know, like back then when I was just starting out about 4 or 5 years ago? What would I have wanted to know so bad? And the answer is simple. So I wrote it down. Oops. 1 second. Right, my little cheat sheet there. So the question was, is someone able to still produce high quality content using like cheap gear? Now, don't get me wrong, gear is very important, right? Gear is like, you need good gear, you need good equipment and everything else like that. But let's face it, we all don't have, money at the start to just go like, whoa, I've got, $800 or $1,500 to buy a camera. We all never have that privilege. And I didn't, right? I know I struggled so bad to get like my first DSLR. And what I thought was going to happen in the end was I wouldn't be able to produce great content like so-and-so because they've got such and such and all those things, right? So I ran into a couple of people and I said, wow, dude, I really like you. I really like your pictures. I really like your videos. What camera do you use? And they're like, oh, I shoot on a da-da-da-da. I'm like, what? I've got a da-da-da too. So, like, why can't you teach me how to produce such and such on that type of things? Like, yeah, sure. Now, I then started to learn that the more you actually know about your gear, the better you definitely get in general, because you need to know what your limitations are, right? For you to come up with good stuff. For example, if you're using like the first camera I had was a 50D, Canon 50D, a pretty good camera, but it did not do well in low light, right? Didn't do well in low light. The dynamic range is not so good, but I had to find a way to work around it, right? So if I'm shooting natural light, I didn't have any strobe lights, no nothing. So if I'm shooting natural light, I had to find a way to work around it, right? So right here, you're actually seeing some of those pictures that I took with that camera back in the day. So if you actually compare those two, you'll see that I don't think the differences are crazy. Now, there's some differences that are very maybe technical and specific, like maybe pixels, like megapixels, how many of the other cameras that I have now would actually compare to those, right? So if I'm shooting, let's say like pictures for like a billboard or something, I obviously want a camera that will shoot better quality or better resolution, so that if I'm able to like expand the size or make it larger, it doesn't pixelate or anything else like that, right? So that's one of the things that you actually need to consider. So basically what I'm trying to say is it is very possible for you to use inexpensive equipment to still come up with like really great content, right? Something that actually looks good and you can still sell up until you make enough money to buy, the desired cameras that you actually want. It's pretty much just knowing how to work around the gear that you actually own. So you shouldn't be afraid to try it out. Like the moment, whatever piece of equipment you have, you could spend $200 on a camera, you could still come out with badass work. I said the word ass, but that's fine. Anyway, but yes, you could still come up with pretty nice stuff, right? Even if you have a kit lens with your camera, you need to try and shoot whatever you can with what you have. Because the moment you say you're waiting for this, you're waiting for that, even when that piece of equipment comes through, you won't even do anything. You actually won't go far. Like, I'll tell you that for real. So in closing, if you really want to be great, filmmaking, motion graphics, which are the two things that I said I'm going to be sharing on this channel, don't wait for, the new iMac Pro, to be bought for you. Don't wait for the, A7 S3 to be bought for you. You have to start with what you have today. Pick up your camera, pick up your gear, shoot some amazing stuff, try edit, ask questions. And one thing I should point out, there are actually more people than you think who are willing to share knowledge about how they come up with their stuff than you think. I've gone to like tons of photographers like around Malawi, Blantyre, Lilongwe, and everything, and they've taught me a lot. Like, oh, you want to do that? Like, oh, I just did this and did that. Like, oh, okay, cool. Now I learn more. You don't lose anything by asking questions. But I know a lot of people, I don't know if it's a pride issue. I stand to be corrected, and I'm not that tall, so standing in really a big deal. Anyway, so if you really want to learn more, literally just you see someone, call them. Like, hey, dude, like, I like your content and stuff like that. Look, I'm also trying to do photography or videography or motion graphics. I really like your stuff. How can I actually improve my own work? And you get the most surprising answers. You will get very, very surprising answers. They will actually say, "Oh, I'm actually like willing to help you out. You want to tag along with me on a shoot?" And you'll be like, "Hell yeah, I want to tag along on a shoot with you." And then you go over there and you start shooting, and they start shooting. Now you're learning from them, and maybe they also want to buy lunch, and you have part of their lunch. I actually never got free lunch, come to think about it, when I was learning that stuff. You could be lucky, man. But anyway, so go out there, try shooting, make content, edit it, share it with friends, let them criticize, and that's how you get better. You get better by starting to move. You don't get better by like, oh my God, I'm trying to do it. I might give it a shot. No. That doesn't work. You've got gear today, whatever piece of equipment that you have, $50 camera, $100 camera, $200 camera. Work on it. Know your equipment. Okay? Just know it. You never move forward if you're not going to try it out. Okay? So with that being said, I gotta get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like the video, do like. Please let me know in the comments what you think of, this and that and stuff like that. So I'll see you in the next video. Hey.